Hi, I'm Roxanne. I'm a musician and I'm here on tour in Europe and playing in Torino for the first time. I guess the album was sort of like a meditation on identity, kind of like a journal of sorts, but also like a almost too like a thesis on my relationship to gender identity, and I don't know, it sort of came to fruition very slowly over 5 years or so. I didn't really have a plan to make a full album of this kind of music, but it sort of just happened that way. And yeah, I'm really grateful that Cranky put it out, and I'm really happy with the response that it's gotten so far, even 2 years later. So. We're at a very interesting time right now when it comes to language and gender, and I think it's really important for people to use whatever words that they feel that makes them feel empowered or more themselves. It is hard, I think, maybe because it's still early on per se, to get everyone on board, but yeah, I think pronouns are a great way to introduce this sort of fluidity to like the general public, whereas I think for a while, maybe before social media took off, you know, the idea of pronouns were kind of more, this is my opinion, it was more in like a very specific circle of like educated people who had exposure to that kind of language. But yeah, I think it's good to talk about, and it's interesting to see, you know, there are different languages that have very delineated gender markers, and then there are some languages that have always had neutral markers. So yeah, it's an interesting time, and I think people should be able to use whatever words feel natural to them. Interestingly enough, it's sha, and that's male or female. or that's he or she in Tagalog. So yeah, that's one example of a language that is already neutral. And I don't know, there are a lot of, from what I've seen, there's a lot of gender non-conforming people in media, like talk show hosts and stuff, and they're very funny and comical, and but I think, you know, anywhere that has like a religious sort of tie to the government and all of this still has a long way to go. But yeah, it is nice to see that. I think it's so cool to be performing in a space that has this exhibit, because I've been very influenced by Buddhism specifically, and Zen, and yeah, these are things that really helped me cope with difficult moments in my life, and I consider myself a spiritual person, and learning about these philosophies, they've given me a lot of tools to sort of make sense of like the chaos of life. And music is a way of processing feelings and emotions or heavy experiences, and so it feels natural for me to incorporate that into the music. And coming in touch with classical Indian music and seeing how spirituality is, how their music is so entwined with spirituality, and how spirituality is connected to everyday life, and everything is like connected. I don't know, it was very inspiring. So yeah, I definitely like to incorporate that into what I write.
And reply.
Ask myself a question? I don't know. How are you feeling, Anna? I'm feeling very happy to be here and so honored and thankful and shocked that it's sold out, and yeah, I'm just so grateful that people are continuing to listen and supporting, and I don't know, feeling a little nervous too, but overall, very good. Oh my God, yes. I think this is common around people who perform, but my definite recurring dream is I'm on the stage, or I'm backstage, and all of the crew is behind me and they're like, it's your turn, like go, like it's your moment, go. And I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Like I forgot my instruments, I forgot my lines or my songs, and I'm just like, and then it's like a full audience, they're just waiting, but like I have no idea what to do. So that's a recurring dream. Usually happens before a big performance or tour. I don't know. So I have a song that is named Slowness, and that was inspired by a book by Milan Kundera. And I don't know, I took a lot of passages from that book that were inspiring, and he talks a lot about slowness, obviously, as like a mode of being and a way of remembering. And I guess I've always felt like I'm a slower person compared to a lot of people, like the way I talk or my speed of walking, or I don't know. It's something that I've always felt self-conscious about because people like to make fun of me growing up. But as I've gotten older, I've started to realize like, oh, this is maybe a strength. Maybe I don't have to see it as something that is shameful or weird, that maybe it's a good way to counteract like the chaos and high speed of life. And yeah, I just found it to be an interesting concept from that book.